Hello again everyone, this is Michinatsu. In today's video, I want to talk about my day and how I incorporate English learning into it. It's more like how I engage with English daily. Just to give you a bit of context, I've got two part-time jobs, juggling video editing and filming and all that. So to be honest, it gets pretty hectic, guys. However, I believe that we can always make time if we want to, and I try not to use being busy as an excuse. Instead, I'm always looking out for ways to optimize my time and stay mindful of how I use my time. Anyway, I actually wanted to make a vlog. I just wanted to show you a bit of scenes around Melbourne as well, but I've been too busy and I got sick again. You might be able to tell, so I could not do it. So this video is more like I talk you through a typical day of my life. Instead, I wanted to tell you guys that yes, I do have a lot of opportunities to speak English if I want to, right? Some of you might think like, hey, that's not fair, you know, it's not a study routine video then. Yes, you're right to some extent. However, I believe learning English isn't just about like working on the books. I think many of us kind of associate learning English with school or textbooks or cramming for the next exams and stuff, but in reality, it's much more than that, I believe. For instance, like for those of you balancing work and studies, like listen to podcasts in English. It's learning. It's rigid, isn't it? Or if you are a student and you study English in school and you do something like a bit of extra at home, and that's gonna be learning, rigid, right? Anything can be learning. By the way, do you know the difference between study and learning? Study is the act of getting information and knowledge, reading, memorizing, or practice, but like a systematic practice. Learning, more for experiences, observation, and experiences from the environments that you are in. So it can be meeting someone or learning something in the situation that you are currently in. So personally, I wouldn't call myself who is studying English. Probably I'm a person who is learning English. And I don't know about you guys, but in today's video, it's more about learning English like daily. I hope you guys are okay with it. Okay, unfortunately, I'm not going to tell you how to do like shadowing or dictation. I'm gonna tell you how I incorporate English into just my daily life. I'm just letting you know that I got sick and I'm still a little bit like not feeling the best, so I might sound a bit funny, but bear with me. I hope you guys enjoy this video as always. If you've got any questions, comments, feel free to leave it down below, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you're more than welcome to as well. Alright, let's get right into it. I wake up around 6 every morning. I do yoga, I never miss it, and I eat a huge breakfast, I never miss it as well. I get dressed and put on makeup and stuff. I try to take time to go on Udemy. Udemy is an online study platform, and there are so many courses in Japanese, but there are more courses in English. You know, once we're out of school, nobody tells us to study something in particular, right? And I found it a bit sad. Like once we stop studying, then we just keep doing the same thing every day and go to work and pay the bills and stuff. I found it a bit sad. I just want to be a person who keeps learning and studying, no matter what that is exactly. Now I'm doing this course. Not necessarily I want to be a life coach, that kind of thing. I wanted to learn about it because it can apply to my personal growth and understanding. I love that course because the teacher, he's Scottish, has got quite a bit of accents, but it's definitely good for my language learning. One piece of advice from me: expose yourself to different accents as much as you can. When I was in Japan, it was not that easy to kind of get to know different accents, especially living in a small town. So if you go on Udemy, there are so many courses and there are so many different teachers. It's only like 20 or 30 bucks. So I want to learn something, and at the same time I want to learn something in English, and I think Udemy is perfect. I get ready perfectly and I hop on the train. 3 out of 10 I'm on my computer and I do editing and stuff, but other than that I try to to read. I try not to use my phone on the train because I think it's a bit of waste of time. Thanks to Kindle, I don't have it with me now. Kindle is a game changer. When you're reading and if you want to look up some words, if you just touch that word, it gives you some options. English dictionary, English to Japanese dictionary, and Wikipedia as well. You don't need the internet. Some dictionaries are already in that Kindle. How handy is that? Now I'm reading this book. It's more like a business book. Those of you who want to read English but it's too difficult for you, one thing that I know is reading in English, it's difficult. But I want you to think in this way. When we are in elementary schools, you know the books that you could read around the times, each word is so huge and there's not much kanji as well. On the other hand, if you try to read books for junior high school students, once you open it, you go like, nope. See ya, right? There was a process of getting used to difficult books, right? Remember, don't get disappointed of yourself for not being able to read English straight away. We need the process of getting used to it. What I recommend is, I think it's because I like magazines. I want to recommend magazines because magazines are basically a bunch of like small stories. From my own experience, you don't have to get disappointed of yourself. Like it's completely natural to kind of go through it. If you find it challenging, that means your English is improving. If you don't feel anything, I mean, once it gets too easy, then that means you're not learning anything. It's just like a normal routine of reading, if that makes sense. Personally, I believe that challenge is a good thing. It's definitely good for my language skill. I hope the story helped. Now I want to move on to my work. I think I have learned so many things from working in an English environment. Of course, new expressions and grammar and I don't know, like slangs or something, of course. But there's one thing that I have learned from actually living in an English environment. That is the importance of small talk. Obviously, you know, in Japan, small talk exists, but I think each country has got its own like small talk culture. I don't think you can separate it from the language that you speak in the country. For example, in Australia, I don't know about America and England and stuff. Now, it can be different. It can be the same. I don't want to sound like I know everything about an English speaking countries. People say something like, as you might already know, how are you? How is it going? How was your weekend? How is your family? What did you do this weekend? What's your plan for this week? So again, it's not like we Japanese don't really talk about some stuff. It's not like we have to ask those questions all the time, but it's just part of the culture. It's part of the communication culture. There's another thing that probably we Japanese are not very good at. People say, oh, you look great. You look pretty today. Or I love your makeup. I like your hairstyle and stuff. Again, it's not like we Japanese never say such things, but we don't say it casually. Especially, we need some sort of distance because we always keep a bit of distance between people and ourselves, right? So we say, oh, I like your makeup and stuff, but it needs a bit of probably a little bit more time. Some shop assistant lady might tell you, hey, I like your makeup. We Japanese get a bit confused or get a bit, awkward because we are not used to that kind of communication style, right? I don't kind of change myself. I don't change my communication style completely, but because I have learned that that's also part of the language. I try to ask colleagues like what their weekend was or like what their plan for the next week or something. And that's also my language skill, and I'm kind of working on it, if that makes sense. I think that's the beauty of kind of getting to know different culture, not only the language itself. Yeah, so at work, I just do my job, get my job done. But at the same time, in terms of communication, I kind of try to be more open and try to give more compliments to people. But after work, I don't have a lot of energy to do anything else. So huge respect for people who work on like TOEIC or Eiken or something like that. However, I can listen to podcasts and YouTube and stuff. So I try to kind of do input if I can. And when it comes to input, I know this video is about kind of incorporating English into my life, but personally, I can't separate myself from Japanese. One time I have done this. No Japanese day, all day. I'm not allowed to watch Japanese TV shows. I'm not allowed to think in Japanese. Of course, I'm not allowed to contact with any Japanese friends or family. I have done that, and now when I reflect on it, I don't think it helped me a lot. Of course, it was a good experience for some extent. I'm Japanese and I speak Japanese. That's my identity, and my identity is not gonna change, and I don't think I want to change it anyway. And I think I'm pretty sure you guys relate to that though. There is always something that I can express only in Japanese, if that makes sense. And there is always something like I can say because it's in Japanese. I think it's just great, and I do not want to kind of lose it. I told you guys that, I watch this and I listen to this and I read this and kind of stuff in my old videos, but at the same time, I kind of listen to Japanese podcasts and I watch videos in Japanese on YouTube as well, and I don't have to feel bad about it, I think. So recently I like Chiikawa. I'm into Chiikawa, so I just watch random videos about them on YouTube, and I listen to Instagram Live by Naomi Watanabe. I love Naomi-chan, so I kind of don't hesitate to do it. And I think for mental health, to keep sanity, Japanese is definitely necessary. Yeah, this is my day. So I'm kind of working on Eiken Ikkyu as well, but I'm not sure how it goes. I'm gonna update with you guys. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sick and I can't talk like usual. I'm actually exhausted, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know. If you've got any questions, comments, please let me know. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you're more than welcome to as well. Alright, see you in the next video, guys.